Elizabeth. I'm a certified personal trainer and nutritionist, and today I have a full body yoga and Pilates workout for stretching, strengthening, and toning. And so the workout incorporates every aspect of the body. There's some stretching and yoga, and then there's Pilates. It's low impact. It's pretty easy to do. So if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. And if you'd like to help contribute, if you go to my channel page, in the About, there's a link for donations. Before we begin, I have a spirit lifter to share with you. It says, "You have faith when you know that thoughts are things, what you feel you attract, what you imagine you become." And I like this because faith, even though you might know the definition, and there's many ways to interpret it, I believe that understanding it in many ways helps you to more completely understand what it means to have faith. Now, a lot of people maybe perceive faith as just hoping and believing, but there is more than one way to display faith, and I think that this quote is really good at showing that. So when you know thoughts are things, what that means is that your thoughts, they materialize, basically. When you think, this alters your perception of the world, and what you seek, you find. So if you think to yourself, the world is a really beautiful place, and I'm so blessed, that's what you're going to see in the world. And then another thing is that thoughts become actions. So that is like the initial part or the seed of what is to become. So when you think to yourself, I have this goal that I want to achieve, that is where it all begins. And then it's up to you to obviously take the actions and to stay consistent to keep it there. And another thing is words tie into that as well. So then what you feel is what you attract. And so maybe you have heard that when you say something mean to somebody else, it is a reflection of something negative within you. And it took me a long time to understand that. And so when you feel gloomy, you attract those experiences to you. And when you change your pattern of thinking for optimism and happiness, your life really can change. And that has happened for me. Then what you imagine, you become. I like that also because there is no reason why you can't be the person you want to be. Now, it might not happen overnight. You might think to yourself, I want to be the successful, wonderful person. And success is a loose term, and to each person, what it means to be successful is different. But by that, it takes effort and morphing yourself and thinking about what qualities you'd like to have. And it also takes reflection and looking at yourself and seeing what you do that does not correlate with what you want to be. So I think self-reflection is very important. You have to take a good, honest look at yourself and see what it is about you that limits you or holds you back or keeps you from being what you want to be. So it's very easy to criticize others or to look at someone else and to judge them and to think about what they could do better. But that is not your job, and what is your job is to look at yourself. So if you've ever thought about body odor in people, and the person seemingly is unaware that they have body odor, but everyone else seems to notice, that's what it's like with you. Sometimes we don't take an honest look at ourselves, or we're in denial, and we'll look at someone else and we'll make like a snarky remark about them. Maybe we say it out loud, maybe we don't. And we just think to ourselves that, oh, we never do anything like that. Well, you're not supposed to do that. And when you start to look at yourself from an honest viewpoint, that's when you can really better yourself. And this is something I've also learned. Taking an honest look at myself, instead of being angry at people when they've been dishonest with me or when they've done something rude, if I find myself thinking about what they've done, I take a look at myself and I see that I'm also not perfect and that I make mistakes too, and that to other people sometimes maybe I wasn't the best person. And then I consider what needs to change within myself and try to work on that. So I've worked on many things, whether it meant keeping my word, not saying mean things to other people, not lashing out with anger when people act what I deem is rude. And this comes a lot with like acting destructively. When people do things that we perceive as mean, sometimes it's unintentional, sometimes it's intentional. But there's a phrase that says you can win a fight not by fighting. And to me what that means is that when people are mean to you, don't even react. Ignore them, walk away, turn the other cheek, let it go. Because that relinquishes their control over you. And the only person who suffers is you. And another thing is it's their small effort, their small insult, which makes a big impact. But you can annihilate that by just ignoring it. So with that being said, we can begin our workout. The first thing I have is a series of down dog movements, and this is going to loosen up the entire body. So we're going to begin with our down dog. And then after a moment, you're going to start pedaling your feet for about 20. And then you're going to raise one leg. Then the other. Then you're going to reach one arm across to your opposite foot, and this deepens the stretch in your lats. And the other side. And then we're coming down to the ground for our first Pilates movements. So we're going to be doing an upper back strengthener. And this is really good for posture and then obviously the muscles of the upper back and the mid part of the back. So you're going to lay on your belly in this prone position here. And you're going to squeeze up, elongating your torso. Your chest is lifted up off the ground. You're going to bring your arms overhead and then bring your arms around like you're tracing a circle around you with your fingers. So we'll do that for 8. If you need to take breaks between repetitions, then do so. But if you want to try to challenge yourself, you can try to keep your torso lifted the entire time. And then we're going to come up to a cookie sit. And we have some Pilates movements here for the abs and the hips and the booty. So you're going to have your legs bent and then they're connected foot to knee. You can place one hand on the ground, so our first exercise is for abs. One hand towards the sky. You're going to follow it with your gaze and wrap it through. And this is going to mildly tone the obliques, and it also stretches along the chest and arms. So we're going to do 8 on each side. Now from here, you're going to take your hands off the ground, and this is going to challenge your abdominals, but we're going to be really focusing on the hip and butt area. So you're going to lift your leg off the ground, and you're going to keep it here, and you're going to trace 10 circles clockwise and then counterclockwise, and it's going to work along the side of the hip. So let's begin. And now before we switch sides, we're going to do a push back. So in your cookie set, keeping your leg up, you're going to flex your foot so it's flat, like you're going to try to push something like a pedal on the car. You're going to push back. And this is going to work the main part of the glute. So we're going to do that for 10 and then complete that series on the other side. So now we begin on the other side, starting with our circles. Then the push back. And now we have some stretches from easy pose. So you're going to sit in a nice, comfortable cross-legged position. And first you're going to begin by reaching one hand to one knee across the body and the other one up. And this is going to stretch along the shoulder and back. And then you're going to come down to center. And then we have a miniature yoga sequence from standing. So it begins with a tree. And then after a brief pause, it comes into a side angle extended. This is going to open up the hip and along the side of the body. And then after a brief pause, humble warrior. So we're going to do that 3 times and then switch sides. have some Pilates standing exercises for the legs. So first you're going to bring your leg in front. Your foot is turned out, meaning that it's at a slight diagonal, and so your inner thigh is facing outward. And you're going to lift your leg, and this is going to tone the hip flexor, the quad, and some of the inner thigh. So we're going to do this for 8 on each side. Now we're going to work out to the side. So what you're going to be doing is you're going to have a bend in your leg, and you're going to be doing a standing fire hydrant. So from this way, and this is going to work the side of the butt. We're going to do 8. And then we're going to work the back of the thigh and the butt. So what we're going to be doing is a standing ham curl. So you bring one leg behind you, and you're going to curl. And you really want to think about this muscle here contracting. We're going to do 8. And then from here, we're going to the ground for a few yoga stretches, and then we'll be all done. So first, you're going to recline. Bring one leg up and over like a 4, and hold. This is going to stretch the hip. Then switch. And then you're going to bring one leg down and extend the other leg for a hamstring stretch. Then switch when you're ready. And that concludes our full body yoga and Pilates inspired workout. I hope you enjoyed it. Please check out more of my other videos on YouTube under Wellness by Elizabeth, and like, subscribe, and share.